The two prides of the Filipino people, one in boxing, one in Hollywood, one is throwing punches, the other is singing. Hear from them and more as Kababayan LA starts right now. Wednesday, everyone. Today on the show, we have entertainment news for you. We also have sports news, and we have lifestyle. Let me ask you a question. What do J-Lo, Anne Hathaway, Katherine Heigl, and Celine Dion have in common? You'll find out today on Kababayan LA. Thank you for joining us. It's a Wednesday, and I started walking last Saturday, so thank you so much to all of you who caught me wearing sneakers on the show yesterday. Those who emailed, those who sent text messages. Yes, I am supposed to be wearing sneakers for I don't know how long. Need to talk to my doctor first, but thank you so much for your prayers. But of course, more people need more of our prayers. One of them is Mel Gibson, going through a tough child custody and child support case, and we're going to be explaining that today on the show with our Simply Legal segment.
Hindi kailangan nakakalito ang batas. Liwanagin natin sa Simply Legal. Brought to you by Attorney Karina Castañeda and Attorney Manny Ibay.
Attorney Manny, is it eBay or eBay?
You know what? I go by eBay.
eBay. But in the Philippines, we call it eBay, right?
Yes, definitely.
Welcome to Kababayan LA. Let us talk about this Mel Gibson case. What is going on? I know that he has been required to pay $20,000 per month for child support, and you think that it's too cheap?
Well, it's kind of, I mean, it's crazy compared to regular people's standards, but they have a formula that they calculate these child support guidelines on, and based on him making his $185 million in 2005, that's not a lot at all.
Right, right. But how do people get away with that? I know that some people would hide assets or, you know, try to do something with their pay stubs so that the courts doesn't see how much they really earn, right? That would be illegal, though, yeah?
It happens all the time. I mean, that's what our business is all about. When you have all these lawyers and their job is to find assets or people hiding. I mean, a simple scenario for regular people. You know, you can have a person who has a business, but then starts going through one of these divorce, child custody, child support type of situations. And what they do is they just decide we're not going to be working anymore. Right. I could take it easy, shut down the business, and then you can go from making $20,000 a month to making $3,000 a month and totally alter your child support.
People go through extremes, and what they don't realize, especially for married couples, is that the kids are the ones really affected by all this, right?
Right. I mean, the purpose of all of this is just to make the kids have something. You know, this is for minimum support. This isn't to live in luxury, but you know, just for instance, if somebody's out there and they're trying to figure out how much they would have to pay in terms of child support, just to give you some examples of regular people, not Mel Gibson type people, if you were making $2,000 a month, if you're, let's say, the dad or the person making more money, it's not just for dads.
Right.
I have cases where the moms are paying more child support. It all depends on who's making more money in the family.
Is that so, or does it depend on who has custody of the children?
It's both. There's a formula that calculates it based on income and as well on percentage of custody.
Like hours of when the kids are with you, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Generally, if you're one of those see you on the weekend dads, you're going to see your kid every other weekend and probably one night during the week, and they call that 20% custody. So that's what they use in the formulas.
Okay. And you're talking about the formula. We can go to a specific website where we can calculate this, right?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
There's a child support website. It's part of the Superior Court. And
yes, and we have it on one of the slides. If we can put it up, please. childsup.ca.gov. So let us talk about the process now. Basic child support. First one here is California uses a complex formula to calculate child support. Can you explain that to us?
Yes, it's not a formula that one can explain. It's an algebraic formula that has many, many lines. But the bottom line is, just for an example, for people out there listening, if, let's say, if you're making nothing as let's say the mom, and the dad is out there and he's making $2,000 a month and you are separated or whatever, you will end up getting about $400 of child support. If it goes up to $5,000, a month, then you can look at something like $850.
That's why they say family law is very complex, that when you get a divorce, you really need a lawyer to protect your rights as well as a parent, right?
There's a lot of things that come into play. I mean, you know, us as lawyers, of course, we welcome the business, and the way that it works is that because you have people fighting over every point, then that's why lawyers come into play. But if somebody was really smart, and I recommend this to people when they come in, if you and your spouse or you may not be married, but there's still child support involved in that. If you can reach an agreement on your own,
right,
that's always the best thing. Because if you can say, okay, you make $3,000 a month, I don't make any money. Let's go to the calculations and let's figure that out. And then this is what you pay me. If you just agree like that, you don't need a lawyer. It's very simple.
It's very difficult though. If two parties are feuding, it's difficult to talk sense. It's difficult for them to really act sensibly and act maturely.
Right.
We were talking earlier about how the formula and all that. There are possible deviations to this calculation, right?
There are.
Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Well, if let's say the kid has special needs, or if let's say it is a Mel Gibson type situation where somebody's making $100 million a year, if you would input $100 million a year in that child support calculation, you get about $500,000 a month, and no court's ever going to force.
For, if the other party is, like you said, earning a lot. Now, let us talk about the steps, how to get the child support that you're entitled to.
Well, as I said, it doesn't have to be something that you get a lawyer to do. You can go onto the website. You can basically...
If you're agreeing to settle it.
Yes, if both parties are agreeing, you go to the website, you calculate it, and you basically say, hey, this is what you'd have to pay if you went to court. Or if I got a lawyer and you got a lawyer, we'd fight it out, we'd spend $30,000, and we'd come up with this number. Let's just not fight it out.
Of course, if you're fighting it out, then that's when you need a lawyer, and that's number to call on the screen. Attorney Manny Ibay is definitely going to try his best to protect your rights as a parent and to protect the rights of the kids as well. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Well, thank you for having me over. It's been a long time, and I've never seen you with sneakers on before.
Well, now you're going to see a lot of me in sneakers, but thank you so much. More power, and we'll see you regularly here on Simply Legal on Kababayan.
Thank you for having me.
We will be back for more on Kababayan LA. Don't go away.
Kumuha ng serbisyo ng teleponong pambahay na mas mababa sa 25 cents sa isang araw mula sa California Lifeline Telephone Program kahit naputulan na ng serbisyo.